So you thought it was the end of the story. You thought that one single event, that one single moment was enough for him to stand amongst the greats. Sleep? I don't sleep. You thought that was it? Well, you thought it was over. Well, it's just getting started. This is the part where you reinvent yourself. It's time to get tested, to test your will, your endurance. It's time to test your heart, to test your limits. It's about no days off, no weekends, no holidays, no birthdays. Listen to me, no days off. It's about gaining the competitive edge. You can't afford to make excuses. No excuses when you feel pain. And trust me, you feel it. And all you want to do is give up. And all you want to do is give in. When you feel like you've given all you got, you got to take one more step. You got to run one more lap. You got to throw one more punch until you reach the top. This is your beginning, but this doesn't have to be your end.
Get off the ground.
You can't do nothing without faith. You are still special. Is it beyond our reach?
No, I'm not afraid. I'm angry.
You can't give in!
Behind every fear is a person you want to be. Fear is self-imposed, meaning it doesn't exist. You create it, you can destroy it. You face your fears, you become the person you want to be. You run from your fears, you're not living. You're alive, but you're not thinking the freedom. You're not living the day. The day's running you. We all fall down in life. The question is, who gets back up?
You don't owe these people anymore. You've given them everything.
Not everything. Not yet.
Is on the way out. A failed soldier, farmer, and real estate agent. At 38 years old, he went to work for his father as a handyman. Cut from the high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. A teacher told him he was too stupid to learn anything, and he should go into a field where he might succeed by virtue of his pleasant personality. Fired from a newspaper because he lacked imagination and had no original ideas. His fiancée died, he failed in business twice, he had a nervous breakdown, and he was defeated in 8 elections.
I would not have been able to make the mental leap that I would be up to where I am right now. I don't want you to begin to just psych yourself out. No. I want you to be able to say something to yourself that will enable you to maintain a level of integrity with yourself. That when you say this, even when you face tremendous setbacks, it will be a benchmark to keep you in the game, to keep you moving forward and experimenting and readjusting your strategy and your plan of action, continuously looking for ways to win. So what is that something? When you got an idea you want to move on, you might not have the money, you might not have the education, you might not have the support or the resources you need. What is that something that can keep us going, that will enable us to act on our dream? What's one of those keys that will begin to help us to discover the secrets to our dream? Here's what I want you to repeat after me, please, with power and conviction. Say, it's possible. That's all I want you to do when you look at your dream. Just say to yourself every day, it's possible. Just say that every day to yourself, it's possible. Because what does that do? See, it begins to change your belief system. See, the way in which we operate, ladies and gentlemen, it's a manifestation of what we believe, what's possible for us. Whatever you've done up to this point, all that it really is a duplication, it's a reproduction of what you believe subconsciously that you deserve and what's possible for your life. Most people operate out of their personal history, out of their memory, things they've done, things they've experienced, things they've seen, things that they have observed. What I'm suggesting that you operate out of a larger vision of yourself. I want you to see yourself doing what you want to do, experiencing what you want to experience, having what you want to have, doing what it is that gives your life some meaning and value. Operate out of your imagination, not your memory. Because whenever you look at where you want to go, I'm wanting to warn you, you will have some conversation back here after you go through the data that you've experienced in life saying you can't do it. And so what you want to begin to do is ignore that inner conversation. Well, most people, ladies and gentlemen, when something happens to them, what they do is they begin to believe that that's the way it is. That's the way it's always been. And they can't see the possibility of it being any different. Example, before April 1954, the common belief, the universal belief, because it had been tried again and again and again and people had failed, the belief was that man was not physically capable of breaking the 4-minute barrier, that he could not run a mile in less than 4 minutes. That was the belief on the planet. It had never been done. But here's what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Roger Bannister came along, and he broke the 4-minute barrier. Now here's what's significant about that. Since that time, up to this day, over 20,000 people have done it, including high school kids. What changed? 20,000 people, what changed? Here's what happened when they got on the track. They knew it had been done. And because they knew it had been done, there was a new belief about this barrier, about this goal that was unreachable. And those 20,000 people got in a race believing, knowing in their heart that someone had done it, that it's possible, that they could do it. And I'm saying that if you know anybody that had some goal, some dream, something they wanted to do, and they did it, then I'm saying that you know in your heart that if someone has done it, then you can do it. It's possible. And that if someone can make their dream become a reality, that it's possible that you can make your dream become reality.
But that wasn't enough. Because on paper, I used to look like I wasn't even on the team. 5'5", 117 pounds. I didn't want people to count me out because of how tall I was. I didn't have really any real role models that was my height. So that was like the hardest thing for me is I didn't see anybody who was like me that could do it. You know how I got my first dunk? An accident. The ball bounced off the rim and I caught it and put it back in and grabbed the rim. And guess what? I didn't dunk for 3 more weeks after that. But I still did it. And then I saw an article about a Russian powerlifting team, and there was a fat Russian celebrating after a powerlifting event. And he was celebrating, but he was like 3 or 4 feet off the ground. So I started researching Russian powerlifting and like all the stuff that they did, like as far as like explosion training. Like that summer from my sophomore year to my junior year, I gained about 25 pounds of muscle. I put 18.5 inches on my vertical leap. And people always say, well, why do you work out so hard? I'm like, how many people do you know that's 5'5" dunking? That's what it took. So that's the only style of training that I know, because it's not normal to jump that high off the ground and take a basketball with you and then land safely. It's not normal. It's not something that everybody in the world is doing. I had to do so much ridiculous training and hours of running, jumping, and lifting and throwing stuff just to put a little basketball inside of a cylinder that's 10 feet off the ground. And it's still worth 2 points. I'm willing to put myself through all this pain and anguish for that one moment to say, I can do it. Everybody fails. The only way to get to succeeding is failing. You have to learn how to succeed. It's just that simple. It's not easy. Just because a road you choose doesn't have pavement on doesn't mean you need to walk down it. And that's what I love about my journey right now, is that my story's getting out in the sense of kids are gonna realize that, hey, he was 5'5", and he was first team All-Ohio and went on to do great things in basketball being that small. So I can do it too. Anything's possible.
And when I really say this, I really mean it. So let it sink in, the stuff I'm gonna teach you right here, right now. I'm here to tell you, because I have walked the walk. I've been down and out. I've been $67,000 in debt. I've lived in my camper for 2 years. Heck, I've lived on people's couches. I've lived in 2-car garages. You know, I've been so beat down, so broke, so depressed that I didn't even know how to wake up the next day. I didn't even want to wake up. And
the common belief, the universal belief, because it had been tried again and again and again, and people had failed, the belief was that man was not physically capable of breaking the 4-minute barrier, that he could not run a mile in less than 4 minutes. That was the belief on the planet. It had never been done. But here's what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Roger Bannister came along, and he broke the 4-minute barrier. Now here's what's significant about that. Since that time, up to this day, over 20,000 people have done it, including high school kids. What changed? 20,000 people, what changed? Here's what happened when they got on the track. They knew it had been done. And because they knew it had been done, there was a new belief about this barrier, about this goal that was unreachable. And those 20,000 people got in the race believing, knowing in their heart that someone had done it, that it's possible, that they could do it. And I'm saying that if you know anybody that had some goal, some dream, something they wanted to do, and they did it, then I'm saying that you know in your heart that if someone has done it, then you can do it. It's possible. And that if someone can make their dream become a reality, that it's possible that you can make your dream become reality. And so as you begin to look at where you want to go, beginning to embrace that, it's possible. I'm blessed and highly favored. I've got a lot going for me. I got some good stuff in me. And it's possible that I can bring my greatness out here in the universe.